So now let's get started with adding things to our collection. So I'm going to go back to our collection, All About Reptiles, and we are going to look at the green plus sign. I love it when people make things easy for me, and think about all the different things we can add. Now I'm going to go through each of these and kind of give you a little information about them. So paste a URL is basically any URL that you want to add to your collection. So over here on another tab, I have this reptile site that I want to add. So I'm going to copy that link and come back to my collection. So I'm going to come back to the Wakelet collection and paste it in. And what you'll notice is whenever you paste a URL, for a couple seconds it looks like nothing happens, and then all of a sudden it puts in a link. Now I want to go over something really important that I think is one of the most fascinating parts of Wakelet, is that this is not just a place where I can put a link and put a link and put a link. This is a place where I can customize a link. So here I have this little blue tongue skink, and it pulled over the title of the website and the text. Well, if you click on edit, you get to actually do some customization. So you'll notice it pulled over 5 images, but I'm only looking at 1. So you can keep clicking to see if there's a picture that's on that page that you'd rather use. This globe doesn't really tell me that I'm going to be learning about blue tongue skinks here. It basically is a globe. So you can keep clicking, and when you see one that you want, you can leave it there. If there's not one, you can also upload or go to your library again. You also can change the title of the site. Now, a lot of people get panicky and think, well, I don't want to change this person's website. You're so not changing their website. All you're doing is making this customized for you. The link is going to be the same, but maybe I want to, instead of say what it is, maybe I'm going to say, meet this fascinating lizard, and I don't want them to know what kind it is. And I can just say, instead of what it pulled over, I can say visit this website and learn about this interesting fellow. So I can give them directions about what to do, and then I can click done. So instead of it being some arbitrary website title and some text pulled over from the site, I can actually give them their assignment and directions here. So I'm sort of giving them their job to do as well. So now they know if they click there, they're going to meet a lizard, and here's what they're going to do. So that's adding a link. Now you'll notice after you add one thing to your collection, you then get a plus sign above and below it. That's so that you can decide if you want to add something on top of it or beneath it, so that you can make sure it gets in the order that you want it in. But don't worry, you can also reorder it if you want to, and I'll show you that later. So I'm going to click on that plus sign again, and this time I'm going to go to the second option, which is add text. So add text is going to be super important in a little bit when I show you what you can do with text. That's such a great accessibility feature. So text can be something you type in. It could be something that you have that you've written somewhere else that you want to copy and paste your words into that box, however you want to use this. But the great thing is you do have some tools across the top. You can bold and italicize your text and underline it, as well as there's some headings, so you can put a lot of information in this box even though it looks tiny. You can use bullets, you can align it the way you want, and you can even add links in here. So I'm going to add some text into my text box. Okay, so I put some text in here. I used some headings, heading 1 for the main thing and some heading 2s for these other 2 sections. I used some bullets. I even used a link. So when you're finished adding your text, you're going to click done. Notice anytime you hover over anything you add to a collection, you've got that pencil where you can go back and make changes and just click done when you're done. So that's adding text, and you'll see why that's super exciting later. So now I'm going to go back to my green plus sign, and we're going to look at YouTube. So when you click on YouTube, it's going to give you search YouTube. What I like to do, and I'm going to pull this bar down just a little bit so you can see. So I have this video I want to use, so I'm going to copy the link, go back to Wakelet, and I'm going to do YouTube. So I'm going to paste that YouTube link in. So after you click it in, click search, and then you're going to click add. So that will add your video to your collection. So now I have some text, I have a video, I have a document. So we've moved through these first three. So let's take a look at tweets. Now in this particular one, there may not be anything that I want to pull into my collection about tweets, but when you go to the tweets section, you can search by keyword, hashtag, or user. So for example, if I know that Innovate Instruction is someone I follow, this is mine. So if I see something on there that has to do with my collection, to add it, I just click the plus sign that's next to it, or I can select all 50 or however many there are there, and then I can click add. Now I'm not going to add them to this collection, but I did want you to see that you can add something from Twitter if you would like. Bookmarks we're going to cover a little bit later, so I'm going to skip over bookmarks and we're going to go to image. Now image, you can upload images or you can also choose from the library. Remember, I had some really great pictures earlier, so if I want to look for reptiles and I want to find some pictures to put in my collection, I can click on some of the images that I want to include. And there he pops in there, so I'm going to add another one just so we can see. And again, you can upload them if you want. Notice it kept my search, which I really like, especially if you're going to be looking for various things. So I want to be sure and put snakes in here. So here we go. We'll give that just a second to populate. So now I have some pictures in here. I did want to show you with pictures, if you click the edit button, you can add a credit, or you can even add a description. So I may want to add not only a caption here, I might add some more text. So when I click done, it's going to put both of that there. So then I have an element that's an image, but it can become more of an image because I can give them sort of an assignment with that. Again, you can click the edit button to be able to change the image, add credits or captions, and add a description. As well as you have the option when you are finished editing something that you do have the little trash can that you can always delete it. So while I'm here and I have a lot of things in here, I do want to show you that you can drag and drop things. So for example, if I wanted to have this turtle picture under this YouTube video, I can do some dragging and dropping, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. Okay, now that we have some pictures and we've added some information, let's keep going through the things that we can add. So now that we've done images, let's go to the right and let's look at how to upload a PDF. So I'm going to click on upload PDF, and I'm going to upload something that I have either on a thumb drive or on my desktop or in local computer storage. And when you add a PDF, it really looks unattractive. It's going to take the title of the PDF, which often the title of a file is something that's not super exciting. So remember the power of that pencil. So I'm going to click on the pencil, and I'm going to call this, this is their reptile research booklet. And I'm going to tell them on this reptile research booklet what they need to use that for. So I've told them what they need to do with it, and now I don't really want to leave that PDF. I can, but I do sometimes. I like to make it pretty. So I'm going to choose from the library. Here's a great turtle. So I'm going to pop in this turtle and say done. So now it's just not a name of a PDF with no direction. It's now a PDF. It has an attractive link that matches the content, and it gives them information on what they're going to do with that. So that is uploading PDFs. To the right of that is Google Drive and OneDrive, and both of these work very similarly, but I do want to give you some information. If you're sharing a file in a Wakelet collection, it's not going to take care of the permissions for you. You have to do that within the platform. So you have to make sure in Google Drive and in OneDrive that your settings match. So if I want to share something from my Google Drive to this Wakelet so that students can click on it, I need to go into the file sharing settings for that document and make sure they're set appropriately. So I know in my Google Drive, I have a file that I want to place in here, and it is about a task card. So I'm going to search in my drive, and I'm going to find that virtual task card. Ooh, there's some other reptile things I can add as well, but we're going to stick with this one for now. So it's adding that file, and it's just going to put the title and say where it came from. So again, I'm going to use the power of that pencil and give some information. So I'm going to say complete this task card by Thursday. And then again, I can edit the image if I'd like. So now I've added something from Google Drive or OneDrive. So now let's take a look at this last option, and I'm actually going to go up to the very top because I want to talk to you about this last option, which is Flipgrid Video. Now I know a lot of you probably use Flipgrid, some of you may not, and it's okay because you can use this even if you're not familiar with Flipgrid, which is what I love. So this is doing a Flipgrid short, and a Flipgrid short is I want to record myself as the teacher, and I would like to just give a little exciting message to my students, so they click on this Wakelet collection, they click on this video, and I'm talking to them. So we're going to do a sample of that together so you'll see how this works. So I'm going to click on Flipgrid Video, and it's going to show me on the screen, and it's going to give me the ability to record. Now I'm not going to go through all these Flipgrid pieces because really the only thing you need to be familiar with is this record button. Now this says I have 10 minutes to record a video, and that's fine if you want to take all 10 minutes, but I'm just going to record a really quick one to use for this collection, and this is going to be me talking to my students about this collection. Countdown. Hi guys, it's Miss Garvey. Welcome to the All About Reptiles Wakelet collection. So we're going to use this collection to help guide us through this unit. I'm going to put some exciting videos, some documents, all kinds of websites and links to make you learn and be excited about reptiles. So use this below to help you, and if you need any help, don't forget you can reach out to me. Use this stuff, yep, down there, all those things, and have fun and enjoy learning about reptiles. Hi guys, it's Miss Garvey. Welcome to the All. So you can see you record, you can watch it if you want. I'm going to click next, and then I get to take my selfie. I'm going to go ahead and click next. It says don't close the window, and then what happens is it puts that Flipgrid video right at the top. But what that's done is it's put that Flipgrid in there. We can delete it, we can move it around. So there's my Flipgrid right at the top. So the students will watch that and be able to find out all of those things that are beneath. So those are all the items that can be added to your collection.